Awolowo in prison. The day he went to prison, what was the house like?
The day he was sentenced, I wasn't at home. It was in September. I think I was in school. But of course, it was a sad day, especially because our brother died tragically in a car accident on July 10. And one would have thought that on compassionate grounds, that that the situation would be different. But I think it was September 11 he was sentenced. So it was a very sad time. That was the year that I sat for my school certificate as well. So I actually didn't think I would make it, but to God be the glory, I did.
You went to St. Anne, right?
Yes.
Ibadan.
I was a boarder. When our brother died, I stayed at home for the rest of that second term. But then I went back to school for the third term because the school certificate exam.
Your brother died while he was on his way to
Lagos.
To Lagos,
yes.
From Ibadan.
Yes.
And it has to do with the same Awolowo case, right?
Yes, he was going to see Papa.
He was a lawyer then?
Yes, he was a lawyer. He graduated from Cambridge University, got a BA Tripos. They called it BA Tripos at that time. And then he was called to the bar at the Inner Temple, same as Papa. So, and then he immediately came back home in 1962. By the time he came back, they were already on restriction and house arrest, followed by the arrest for this treason trial. So, and he was holding fort at Papa's chambers in Ibadan. That was. Oh, he was a leader. He was bright. He was competent. I'm talking about my brother now. He was, he was a good son to have. He made them proud. He made all of us proud. Generous as well.
So Awolowo lost his first son.
Yeah.
And went to prison.
Yes.
Tragedy for the family.
Tragedy. All through.
You feel Awolowo went to prison for political reasons?
Absolutely, I believe so.
You believe he did not commit treason?
No, he certainly didn't. Certainly did not. Those were trumped up charges.
Trumped up charges?
Yes.
By his opponent?
Yes.
Did you feel he played the wrong politics at that time?
No. No, he lived what he believed. The wrong politics in what sense? That
you feel that struggle with Akintola was called for?
It was a struggle between two political philosophies, and so it was. 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 it was, Papa wouldn't give in for his political philosophy. He really would not. He wasn't that kind of person.
He was ready to go to prison for that.
Yeah, he believed in what he believed in, and unfortunately, that put him in the way of the people in power, and but he wasn't prepared to change that.
Mama was involved in that struggle too?
Yes,
How?
by supporting him.
Was there a struggle between the wives, Akintola and Mama? Akintola's wife and Mama?
I think there probably was, but just to the extent that each one was supporting her husband naturally. There are all sorts of stories about Mama having what do you call it? Coca-Cola.
The franchise.
This franchise, and no, it had nothing to do with nothing at all. Mama was a pure businesswoman that looked for her business everywhere. She had franchise from Nigerian breweries, from everywhere. She was selling everything that was going. So it had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people have been telling that kind of story, which is nonsense. It had nothing to do with it. Each person supported her husband naturally. So I think that's
So Awo in prison, did you visit him in prison?
several times. Several times. We even visited him in prison in Calabar.
In Calabar.
Several times.
So when you saw him in prison, can you tell me?
Yes, he always made sure that he was upbeat so that we wouldn't feel that he was. Whether he contrived it in order to make us happy, in order to not, how do I put it, in order to make us happy, in order to make us feel that it wasn't really that bad, or not, I don't know. But he was a very courageous person anyway. He that was probably exactly how he felt, that he was there for a while and that he would come out someday, and that he wouldn't die there, and he said it anyway. So it was always he was always about us when we went to visit him. He wanted to know more about what we were doing, how we were doing, how we were getting on. He wanted to know more about us. It wasn't about him.
Did they treat him well in prison? Did he tell that story?
They did. They did. In fact, the prison superintendent that looked after him in Calabar died only recently, 3 years ago. I managed to get in touch with him before he died, and we spoke a few times. Mr. Oho, he looked after Papa very well, and he made sure that his food was safe, everything was safe around him. And I think the prisoners were also very kind to him. They also didn't think that she should be there.